What is up, members of the Storm? There are so many books I have forgotten to go over, and Apple Black is one of them. Without further ado, let's get into it. If I was to summarize Apple Black, I would say it's like akin to like if you were to put Full Metal Alchemist, X-Men, and combine all of that with like Hogwarts or something. The story takes place in a world called Eden, specifically on Black Bottom Island. This is a world that's kind of in shambles for multiple reasons. It's recently war-torn, there's a bunch of political problems, and recently this special fruit called Black, which grants humans the ability to use the sorcery or impulse abilities, that fruit has been gone for like a long time, and as a result, as generations go on, sorcerers' abilities to use their impulse abilities, think of it like an X gene, it's losing potency with each generation. And this leads directly to our protagonist, Sano. Basically, he is the prophesied savior of the world, and he's going to fix a lot of the world's problems. A key sign of this is his arm, which is basically the arm of a god. I don't want to spoil that too much. But the thing is, homeboy doesn't know much about the world he's supposed to save, and he's kind of awkward. Like, he doesn't even know what attraction is. He saw Opal, and he's like, what's this girl doing to me? What's going on? I mean, I guess he's not really wrong. I mean, women kind of do have an innate power over men. I mean, just ask King Lion. Heck, Adam cursed and doomed all of humanity for a woman. So, I guess Sano ain't wrong. So there's gonna be a lot of development and growth on Sano's side, and I can't wait to see it. The first thing that caught my eye was the character design, and I love its science fantasy aesthetic as well. I really love Apple Black's design because that's the first thing that popped out to me. The design is impeccable. I love the Bleach inspiration because I love Bleach's art. It's my favorite art of the entire Big Three. I dare say it is the best art out of all the Big Three. I love the science fantasy aesthetic of the people and the world in general. If you've been following my page long enough, you know I'm a sucker for science fantasy. And another thing I like about this series is the fact that it handles representation better than even most pro-representation people. Because most of the time it's just, representation is include a black person or an Asian person, and it's just extremely surface level. Meanwhile, Wyatt actually goes deeper. It's like, no, let's not just do black people. Let's include black people with vitiligo and albinism. Because they're barely talked about even within the community. We just forget about them and don't talk about them at all. Even beyond black people, he doesn't leave anybody out. Because a lot of people who are pro-representation this, pro-representation that, but they fail in comparison to someone like Wyatt. I mean, heck, he even includes Muslim-inspired characters here. I don't think this guy is black. I mean, that's due to the fact that, like, he actually draws black people with black hairstyles. So he's probably like more like South Asian, maybe Middle Eastern. He clearly has included them, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's like one of them, you know what I mean? Why, you had no reason going this hard with Madame Naomi's design. Listen, I already have a thing for older women, and Wyatt made it much worse. Thanks, Wyatt, for making my life that much harder. Now, on to my favorite part, the power system. When it comes to the impulse ability, aka sorcery, think of it like the X gene. Each person / family or / bloodline has their own unique ability. And the limitation to their applications is their understanding of their power, and along with that, their impulse. When it comes to impulse, there's these things called walls of impulse. Basically, there's like these natural barriers when it comes to impulse, and it's like the difference between having like a normal attack and like a strong attack, etc. But the thing is, you need to have your body properly trained in order to break that wall. Because if you haven't broke it and you're trying to perform a stronger attack, it won't end up well for you. This lady tried it. She's in a coma now, and she's been that way for years. There's two walls. There's ivory and ebony. To give you a good idea of what like breaking the first wall is like, it's like basically going Super Saiyan. But like the creativity in these impulse abilities, it varies greatly, and it is so cool. And an extension of the whole impulse system is these things called wands. So needless to say, the whole sorcery / impulse system is pretty scientific. And the whole wand aspect reinforces that. Basically, wands are technological devices that aid the user's impulse ability or just grants them a whole separate other ability in general. Take, for example, Sano's wand, Salamander. It emits an inky-like substance, and anything that the inky-like substance touches, Sano can teleport. And our girl Opal has a wand on her head. Its name is Astro Jinx. But her wand is no normal wand, it's a golden wand. Golden wands amplify the user's impulse-based attacks, and along with having the other abilities of a wand, it can actually grant the wielder to copy other people's sorcery. Isn't that awesome? Like I said, I'm loving the whole science magic mixture in this whole story. I remember once on live, even Whytmanga himself stated that sorcery and science are the same thing ultimately in the Saturday AM multiverse. Two sides of the same coin, basically. So if you're looking for a new manga to read, I highly recommend you check out AfroBlack. Science fantasy world with beautiful art, with cougars as head of government, with an interesting plot and story. What more could he ask for?